So it's time to add the color on my comic. Hi, my name is Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist on the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 25 years now, and I'm here to empower you. So this is comic number 5, and I learned a big lesson on the last time in the last comic strip when I was trying to color it. So this time around, I made sure that the values were all working at the value stage before I even started adding color. And this, in theory, should have helped with the coloring, but it didn't. Like once you start adding color, things tend to still need fudging and stuff. So let's watch the video and then I'll show you what I mean. All right, so starting with having to color this guy, the trickiest part about adding color right now for me with these characters is making sure that each individual character has their own type of color scheme and skin tone so that they don't at a glance look like the same character. Uh, so I have to make sure that I don't mess that up. I don't make all the characters look the same. Okay, so now what I'm basically doing is I duplicated the selection layers, the selection layers. I grayed them out, and now I am applying the colors into the the figure. And one of the things that I forgot to do was make the shadows into multiply, and so they weren't quite working the way I wanted them to, and I found out the hard way that they weren't working the way I wanted them to. So I when it's a very the light is coming from the right hand side of the frame, really blown out, and I just wasn't ready to. I just wasn't ready to accept how completely washed out all the color was. It's even on the character, it seemed like it was just too white, and it took me a while to get used to the notion that the white is the light is really blowing out the colors. So that was something that I wasn't sure about. But then here, see, notice I'm changing the background colors around a lot because there was something about maybe I chose the wrong colors for the background, and then that meant that the bounce light needed to change, and so just because I had the values the way I wanted to doesn't mean that I found the right colors to color the background, to, to color the suit, that sort of thing. And I kept going over it. Is this dark enough? Is this not dark enough? Is she really popping out right? Is she not popping out right? Is this working? Because it just seemed like I kind of overdid it with the white. So yeah, that to me was one of the struggles, that maybe I overdid it with the white, maybe. And at the end of the day, does it read well? Does it not read well? I didn't mind this coloring this as much because the background was essentially non-existent. I could just put whatever colors I wanted. Um, it was a little bit easier to manage, but still, even then, look how white the light is from the on the left hand side. Also, by the way, the reason I chose the very yellows and reds in the background here is because of the emotional state of the character. That it just needed to be like, oh, this is horrible, and you needed to feel the way that the character felt. And I thought that reds and yellows were the appropriate colors. And even here, I'm adjusting the colors of the shadows and the values of the shadows. See, I'm just adjusting and adjusting because I'm still not happy with what's happening. And this is when also when I realized that I hadn't put the shadows on in multiply, and when I did put them on multiply, it was just too dark. So it was still a challenge, even though I had supposedly prepared myself for this. This was the funnest and the easiest out of all the panels, because I got to really make it all pretty and just play around with the colors. Yeah. So and it was very very simple. You know. And again, I chose the colors to represent the character's emotional state. Okay, and that's it. That's the coloring process. And I every single time I do one of these comics, it's still challenging. It's still not like, oh, everything's coming out perfect. I'm always struggling with something, and this is sped up, but it's hours of just struggle. So I just thought I'd share that with you. I hope this is helpful, and I will talk to you next time. All right.